Hello students, we are going to give the exam sainikschool all India exams. The syllabus 21st topic, the organization, international organization, United Nations and international organizations. So now we are going to study United Nations. An international organization was established to ensure peace, security at the international level. In present chapter, now we are studying two objective principles, structures and the role in securing a peace. United Nations background, we are going to discuss. The two world wars were fought at the start of the 20th century. Life and property were destroyed on a large scale in these wars. As a result, the League of Nations was established after the First World War, and United Nations was established after the Second World War. Out of the realization that has to be mechanism to establish the world peace. The League of Nations did not succeed at all, and that's why League of Nations jokingly said as the League of Nations. These questions are already asked in IS exam. But after the use of the nuclear weapons in the Second World War, the idea took that such destructive wars should be stopped, and that is to the collective responsibility of all nations to do so. And the United Nations was established after the Second World War to be installed in this understanding among all the nations. Now we are discussing about the chronology of the establishment of the United Nations. Atlantic Treaty was signed between the Prime Minister of England, Sir Winston Churchill, and American President Franklin D. Roosevelt during the Second World War on the 14 August 1941. According to the treaty, the decision was taken to set up the permanent mechanism to establish international security after the Second World War was over. Detailed discussions follow on these decisions in two conferences among the Allied power in 1944 and 1945. And draft of a treaty to the establish an international organization was prepared. At San Francisco, America, and the representative of the 50 countries drafted the chart of United Nations after the discussion. As soon as the war got over, the charter was signed on 24th October 1945, and the United Nations was established 24th October, and that's why 24th October we celebrate the United Nations Day. United Nations is an international organization of a sovereign nations. We can call, there is some questions. Did India participate in the conferences Second World War, after Second World War? So India is in the hand puppet of the British, and that's why not. Which day is celebrated as United Nations Day? We already discussed 24th August 1945. This is the day when United Nations established, and that's why 24th October is celebrated as a United Nations Day. The objective of the United Nations, now we discuss. The United Nations is the world's largest international organization. In the beginning, only 50 countries were members of the United Nations. Today, this number has gone up to the 119. This is the highest number till now. All these members nations come together on the platform of United Nations. The United Nations has its own different objectives. Briefly, the United Nations takes up all necessary measures for establishing the international peace. First of is to listen here. Read. To establish the friendly relations among the nations. To enhance the international security by the solving international disputes. And third one is so important, to safeguard and foster human rights and freedom. Now, first is to establish friendly relation among the nations. Second one, to enhance the international security and solving the international disputes. And third one is to safeguard and foster human rights and freedom. Along this, United Nations also aim enhancing the economic cooperation at the international level. All the member countries are bounded by the duty to respect diplomatic privileges of sovereign nations, not to attack other countries, and abide by the international law and all treaties taken by the United Nations. Now, United Nations is an organization created by the coming together sovereign nations. Naturally, it is based on the certain principles by rules, and they are briefly followed. We see the one by one. All member nations will have the same status. There is no discrimination among the nations based on the geographical size, economic and military power. Second one, all member nations of the United Nations should respect the freedom and geographical unity of other member nations. Third one, all member nations should solve their international disputes and mutual differences by peaceful means. There is no chance to war. Now, there are some questions we discuss here. Can the United Nations intervene the military if there is a serious threat to the international peace? And second one, what steps have to United Nations taken to foster the human rights and the freedom? All over countries, all over the nations, today also these problems are arises with the United Nations, Russia, Ukraine, America. Structure of the United Nations, we have to try to understand. Structure of the United Nations. United Nations charters describe the structure and the functioning of the organization. United Nations has 6 main organs. First is the General Assembly. Second was the Security Council. Third one, Economic and Social Council. Fourth one, International Court of Justice. Fifth one, Trusteeship Council. And last one, Secretariat. Antonio Guterres was the Secretariat, UN Secretariat. Before he was a Prime Minister of Poland. Apart from 6 major organs, there are the many affiliated organizations of the United Nations that helps in its function. They are called specialized agencies working in specific areas. They help different nations in those areas. Following are some important agencies. Now we have to try to understand. ILO in 1920 is established. This is first organization. Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. World Health Organization, we see the role in corona situation. World Bank is also called as IBRD, International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. IMF and World Bank is called the twin sisters. These nations Children Funds, UNICEF, United Nations Children Fund, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. These are the apart from the 6 main organs and very important. General Assembly, now we discuss what is the role of General Assembly, and it is an important organ in a United Nations. General Assembly, all the members countries are a member of the General Assembly. The position and the status of all countries, whether they are rich or poor, big or small, in the same. Every year in General Assembly meet in a session September to December. During the session, General Assembly discuss important issue like environment, disarmament. The decision in the General Assembly are taken by the majority. These decisions are in the form of resolution. Thus, General Assembly only passes the resolution. It does not make a law. The significance of the General Assembly lies in being the platform for the representative of the member nation to come together and discuss and to make a policy decision on a global importance. Function of the General Assembly, now we try to understand. First, to elect the non-permanent member of the Security Council. Second one, to choose the United Nations Secretary General and the judges of the International Court judges in the consultation with the Security Council. Third one, to pass the annual budget of the United Nations. These are the functions of the General Assembly. Now we repeat. To elect the non-permanent member of the Security Council. Second one, to choose the United Nations Secretary General, judges of the International Court of Justice in consultations with the Security Council. Third one is to pass the annual budget of the United Nations. This question will be asked in exam. The main function of the General Assembly is to sanction the budget, to pass the annual budget of the United Nations. Headquarter of the United Nations, where is the headquarter? Now, The headquarters of the United Nations are at New York. English, French, Russian, Spanish, Chinese, Arabic are the official language of the United Nations. Chinese is also called as the Mandarin of the language. Now, second important organization is the Security Council organ. Security Council. There are the 15 members in the Security Council. Of them, 5 permanent members. Those 5 members are winners of the Second World War. 3 capitalist country and 2 socialist country. Capitalist country, UK, US and France. In the socialist side, China and Russia. Sorry. The non-permanent members are chosen every 2 years by the General Assembly. America, Russia, England, France, China are permanent members of the Security Council. They have veto rights, veto power, and for any decision to be taken, the assent of all 5 permanent members and 4 non-permanent members is necessary. 5 permanent members and 4 non-permanent members is necessary to any decision to be taken. The assent of 5 permanent members and 4 non-permanent members is necessary. If even one of the 5 permanent members uses its veto, it gives negative vote, the decision cannot be taken. Function of the Security Council. Function of the Security Council. The main responsibility of the Security Council is to maintain the international peace and security. The main responsibility of Security Council is to maintain the international peace and security. There are the 6 organs, one of them Security Council. The main responsibility of Security Council is to maintain the international peace and security. The Security Council may suggest one among the following alternative in situation of the international conflict: end or resolve the conflict and make effort to establish the peace, impose economic sanction on the take decision of a military action against the aggressor nation. Second one, to prepare policies for the armed controls. To play a major joint, third one, now see, to play a joint role along with the General Assembly in appointments of the judges of the International Court of Justice and the United Nations Secretary General. Suggestions are being made to reform the Security Councils and make it more democratic. India is making effort to get permanent membership of the Security Council. In spite of the large population, India should be status, the permanent member. But now, because there are the historical aspects. Now we discuss the third organ of United Nations, Economic and Social Council. The main objective of this organization is to Economic and Social Council. Now we discuss about. Main objective of this organ is to coordinate the economic and social policies of the United Nations. Council has total 54 members and they are selected by the General Assembly. Each member has tenure 3 years. 3 years. Each member has tenure of 3 years, and each year 1/3 of the members are newly chosen. Decisions are taken by majority vote. Functions. What are the functions of the Security Councils? Initially discuss global level on issue like poverty, economic and social. Economic and social. Poverty, unemployment, economic and social inequality, and suggest the policies to tackle these problems all over the world. Second one, discuss issue like a woman's questions. Discuss issue like a woman's empowerment, human rights, fundamental freedom, global trade, health related issue, etc. and make decision. Third one is make efforts to establish the cultural and educational cooperation at the international level. Fourth one, coordinate the functioning of the different organizations working in the associations of the United Nations. Now we discuss about the secretariat.